Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of the Fishing Teacher, and really appreciate you guys swinging by the channel to check out today's video. Got an on the water deal for y'all today. We're going to be showing and talking about how to fish ditches. Got a nice little ditch in front of me here. We're going to sort of go over it and explain to you what it is and how you want to set up on it. I think it's going to add up to some good fish for you guys because this is a prime bass catching structure during the pre-spawn. Also, guys, before we get started, just a couple quick housekeeping tips. Just want to invite everybody, anyone interested in checking out my Fish the Moment lake map breakdowns. We got our spring maps up. This is a great resource, guys, to learn more about your favorite lake and get some good spots on your favorite lake. These are maps I build specifically for Fish the Moment, so I'll put the link in the description there. And also, please check out the Tackle Warehouse Spring Fishing Sale. They got 25% off a bunch of stuff on the website. I'll have that link in my description as well, so really appreciate you guys using those links. Okay guys, if you're not familiar with it, I'm going to turn the camera around here in a second. A ditch is actually, it's sort of a channel that's in the back part of a cove or a creek. Now these are prime areas for bass to spend in the wintertime and during the early pre-spawn. They just like to hunker down in here. It's a really good area for them. There's a lot of bait fish that funnels back in through these areas. They have access to deep water. They can move shallow if they want to. And it's just a really good spot on a lot of different man-made reservoirs across the country. So I'm going to turn the camera around here, show you on the map here, and then we're going to take a little idle down here. So here we go. Okay guys, here's a prime example of what a ditch is right here. Now a ditch is basically the back part of a cove, and you can see through the light area right here, a little bit deeper. And this is what I call the ditch. And this is the key area right here. It's sort of the last, really about the last couple hundred yards of any cove or creek. That's how they're set up there. And this is how it looks right here if you're just looking at it straight on. We're sort of in the back of the cove. And what you want to do here is you just want to idle down the middle of these coves and look for stuff. Now here's a prime example of what we're coming up on here. See right, you can see right here, here's some bait fish right here. This is a big school of shad, maybe some fish down there. And these shad will hang out in the middle of these ditches just like. So that's what you're keying in on. You're keying in on shad, you're keying in on any structure. And I usually just start idling through here, and once that water is about 30 foot deep, I'll put the trolling motor down here and I'll begin fishing. And normally what I'm going to do is I'm going to be casting straight down the middle here, trying to target the depth that I see most of the fish activity in. A lot of times you can't see anything. Sometimes these fish will be on the bottom and they'll be like on a little rock or something like that. But this right here is a prime example of it. Here we're almost, probably, I don't know, a couple hundred yards from the back, and all this is going to be key area. So I'll move in through here. Like I said, water's about 27 feet. I'd start fishing right now, throwing straight down the channel, usually with like an Alabama rig or a jerk bait or a small swim bait. Probably a jerk bait is my number one thing. There's another little wad of shad there. You can see here, these are prime areas for shad to move in here. And this is why these fish are in here. These shad like to hold in these ditches too. But the main thing, guys, is it's pretty much sort of a clear water deal. This is not something that works very good like in stained water. You need to have water visibility of about probably 3.5 or 4 feet. Probably 3 feet would probably be good. And that way, if you have 3 foot of visibility, you have a lot of suspended bait fish and suspended fish that use these ditches. So like I said, I've caught a ton of fish just getting in these type of areas and casting that jerk bait right down the middle there. Okay guys, another good thing about fishing ditches, it's a great pattern type of deal, because normally if you catch some fish in a ditch, you can duplicate it in different parts of the lake. Now, I'm not saying that every one that you go to you're going to catch fish in, but if you're catching fish out of these ditches, that's a good indication that they're using a lot of ditches in the same type of setup. So if you start getting some bites, just start running literally every pocket. And one of the ways that I sort of narrow it down a little bit is I'll usually, if I am on a pattern and I'm trying to hunt areas that I think that the fish are going to be in these ditches, I usually idle down through them with my 2D sonar before I start fishing, because there's a lot of lakes, like I'm here on Lake of the Ozarks right now, and a lot of these lakes have just hundreds of these ditches in them. So obviously you can't spend all your time fishing them. So to save time, idle down through there. If you see bait fish activity, or if you see any type of fish activity, come back out and make another pass down through there and start fishing. But if he gets in there and it looks like it's clean as a baby's butt, I just go on to the next one. Don't worry about it. Not to say that their fish aren't there, because sometimes you can pull them off the bottom, but just to save time, I really want to see bait fish. That's the key thing. If I see bait fish, I know there's some fish swimming and moving in and out of here. And you'll catch everything in them, guys. You'll catch bass, you'll catch crappie, you'll catch white bass. A lot of fish use this type of stuff. And don't hesitate to fan cast around the banks too. If you're getting into an area that's got some fish in it, a lot of times that's a good indication there'll be some fish in some different parts of it. So anyway, guys, give it a try and hope it helps out, and we'll talk later.